Hey, I'm Tommy the Butcher for Wise Guys BBQ, coming at you with a new video. National Grilled Cheese Day, Sunday, April 12th. What are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna give you something to think about. Smoked beef brisket grilled cheese. We're about to show you how you can do this at home. But before we get started, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you will not miss an episode. Stick around, we're cooking together. All right, let's pickle some onions. So before we get started, I just want to go over our mise en place that we have all set up here. We're going to be using red onions, highly recommend, as a matter of fact, red onions. Very simple ingredients. This is going to be an overnight pickling process. So the next day, they'll be ready to serve. A little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, some red wine vinegar. Going to be adding some water to cut that vinegar. Whole star anise, whole black peppercorns, whole cumin seeds, a little bit of red chili pepper. We're using a 32-ounce mason jar. We did some yesterday, and this was one large red onion I did. Get some hot water boiling, because the minute we get these onions sliced into our bowl, we're gonna add the hot water and let that sit for about an hour so that those onions soften up, break down a little bit. It's almost like a pre-cooking process because you don't want the raw onion in the pickling. Cut your onion across the grain, and then we're gonna slice it with the grain now. And that'll give us nice thin strips. And as you're getting to the end, you wanna flip it over so you're using that flat surface on the cutting board. That way it'll work with you. It's not gonna be rocking. Just lightly pick them up and get them all separated as best you can. And then we're going right on top with hot boiling water. Just pour it right over. It's been a half an hour. Our onions have been soaking in this hot boiling water, so they've softened up. They've lost some of their pungency. You just want to get these strained off. As you can see, they've lightened up a little bit in color. They've definitely softened up. If you see any like large pieces that you don't want, now's the time to pick them out. All right, while our onions are draining, now's the perfect time to get working on putting our brine together. So I'm gonna move it off to the side, and I'm gonna use the bowl that we soaked the onions in. Basically, there are very simple 4 ingredients that are going into this. 3/4 of a cup of red wine vinegar and 3/4 of a cup of water. To that, I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar and 1 tablespoon of salt. Gonna give this a whisk. So this is gonna be our pickling spice. And then we're gonna be adding some of our solid ingredients after, the star anise, the whole cumin seeds, the peppercorn. And I'm gonna chop up this little red chili pepper guy here hanging out. That'll be going in to the jar once we begin assembling all of this. Next, I'm gonna take our onions, and with a pair of tongs, I'm just gonna kind of gently place them inside our mason jar. Very simple, just get tongs and try to reach down in there. Now this recipe will work great for cucumbers as well. If you wanna pickle cucumbers, go ahead and do the exact same thing. You wanna slice your cucumbers up nice and thin. The only thing with the cucumbers, it's no need to do the hot water bath ahead of time, because you're gonna end up with soggy cucumbers, and nobody wants that. As you're loading your onions into the jar, now's the time to get all your solid ingredients in, because you can get them in on different levels so they'll be all evenly mixed in there. So I'm gonna go with the 1 star anise, a little bit of peppercorn, and a little bit of whole cumin seeds, and then continue on. So basically the idea is to kind of layer it. You want to kind of create that little bit of a parfait effect so that all your spices are nice and evenly distributed. Go in with another star anise, a little bit more peppercorn, a little more whole cumin seed, and then I'm going to finish off with our rest of the onions. Once we get all the pickling brine in here, that liquid will allow us to kind of like mix all that up much better so they'll be evenly distributed. Time for this little red chili pepper. So I'm gonna cut it in half, then I'm gonna cut the halves in half. So basically gonna quarter it, and literally just gonna go in here and kind of place them down into the onions. We wanna kind of put 4 at every corner. Doesn't really matter too much. exactly where you place them, because once the liquid's in there, we're gonna be able to shake this all up so it's all nice and balanced. So I'm gonna take our brine, and I'm gonna put it into a measuring cup. It'll be easier to pour this into our mason jar. Make sure that sugar and the salt is all dissolved. If not, you'll have some residual stuff sitting at the bottom of the bowl. So you wanna get all that out. And that's it. All I'm gonna do is pour this on top. Just let it do what it wants to do. It's gonna fill all those cracks and crevices. And at this point, in order to get this mixed up, just grab a spoon. You can go in there and tamp things down, get our lid, get it on. All right, there you have it, folks. Pickled onions. We're gonna get them in the fridge. They're ready to use in an hour or so. Just get them chilled, get them cooled down a little bit, but they'll stay in your fridge for weeks. And we'll be right back in 1 second. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna move on to our brisket grilled cheese with our pickled onions. So see you in a little bit. All right, we're ready to start building some sandwiches. Now, I'm gonna open up this brisket. If you watched our corned beef brisket video a couple of weeks ago, where we cured our own corned beef, I broke down a whole fresh pack of beef brisket. We removed the flat and I left the point. And we reserved those 2 points, and we smoked one of them off yesterday, and we held it overnight in a warming oven at 150 degrees so that it would be ready to go for cook today, doing our sandwiches. It smells fantastic. It's still warm. We've been keeping this warm all night. So there it is, our brisket point. So as you can see, the grain is running this way. So we're gonna come in, I'm just gonna slice. Wow, check that out. Juicy, has that nice smoke ring. And this is from the point, so it's gonna have tremendous flavor. There's a lot of moisture in here. That's all set. We're gonna move that. We're gonna bring our bread into focus. And there's our sandwich bread. It's a pan de mie. Like I said, we bought it at a local bakery, 7 Stars Bakery in Providence. I'm gonna get this sliced up. Now, we didn't get it sliced because it's gonna allow us to get the thickness that we're looking for. So I'm looking for something thick like a Texas toast. And this has great body to it, great texture. First thing we're gonna do is go in. I've got 2 types of cheeses. I got an orange cheddar, Vermont cheddar, and I have Gruyère. Probably one of my favorite cheeses. Very nutty, has a great melting point, absolutely delicious. It's gonna pair well with this brisket. I'm gonna start with 1 on each slice of bread. On top of that, we're gonna go with a little bit of Gruyère. All right, now a little bit of brisket. I'm gonna put a couple slices on each slice of bread. Now at this point, we're gonna do 1 sandwich with the pickled onions, and the other one I'm not gonna do, so we can use the pickled onion as a condiment. But what this pickled onion is gonna do, it's really gonna cut the richness, because all that fatty brisket, all this cheese, nice pickled onion is gonna create a lot of acidic balance. Next, I'm gonna go with another slice of orange cheddar. And then we're not stopping here, we're going up. A couple more slices of brisket on each sandwich. Then another layer of Gruyère. And we're gonna top this off with a good solid layer of cheese. And then we're gonna cap it off with 1 slice of orange cheddar. So then I'm gonna get the outside part of this bread buttered up. And this is the part that's gonna go down on the grill. Our griddle is up to temp. We're looking at about 425 degrees. I'm gonna flip these on. I'm hearing a nice sizzle. Wow. All right, I'm gonna let these sit in place. Now I went ahead and I actually melted our butter, because it's gonna make this part of it much easier if we just brush the melted butter on. So I strongly urge, if you're gonna do this, when you flip it over, rather than trying to spread the butter with a knife, just do this, and it'll just make it much more easier. All right, we're looking good. Getting all these flipped over. These are quite high, so don't be afraid to go in here and get a little pressure on those. It would be great if you actually can place something on top of it. A lot of times I'm doing these at home. I'll just put a bowl on top, anything that'll get a little compression. All that cheese will start to melt. It'll all come together as one. All right, our brisket grilled cheese are ready. You're gonna get them off, and then we're gonna let them rest for a little bit, and we'll be right back. All right, folks, we're ready to dive into this package of goodness here. All I can say is I smell that smoky brisket and that ooey gooey cheese, so we're gonna check this out right now. You know, this bread, I can feel the crispness of the bread. How's that look? It's cheesy, it's smoky, it's beefy. I mean, this is richness overload, flavor overload. You gotta try this at home because it'll knock everybody's socks off. All right, there you have it, folks. National Grilled Cheese Day, Sunday, April 12th. Hope you're gonna give this a shot because you're gonna love it. I'm Tommy the Butcher for Wise Guys BBQ. Please like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you will not miss an episode. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to see you next time.